What does best interest of the child even mean? Hey there, my name is Ron Payne. I'm the CEO and managing partner here at Payne Law in Kernersville, North Carolina, where we focus on family law and estate planning cases. A common question is, what does best interest of the child even mean? And if you think that sounds ambiguous, you would be absolutely correct. As a general answer, it is ambiguous, and that language gives the judge a lot of leeway in determining what is best for the child. In terms of trying to if you don't like what a judge does in a hearing, you're not going to be able to overturn that, because if the judge found a reason for why they did what they did, that reason's almost always going to be held up because of how vague the standard is. That said, there are a few things that you can rely on, that a judge is going to consider when you're thinking about what is the best interest of the child. The first factor is going to be, what is the physical and emotional and mental health of each of the parents? For example, if you've got one parent who's unemployed, homeless, and spends 3 days every week in the hospital, that may not be best for the child because there's a lot of upheaval going on, right? Conversely, if you have a parent who's stably employed, they've got a good house, they've got a job and things are going fine. And I don't mean, you make a lot of money or you've got a fancy job, blue collar, white collar. The thing is that you're employed, you've got a house over your head, things are going okay. We want the children to be in a stable environment. So knowing that the parent is in good physical, mental, emotional health as well really helps a judge feel more confident. Arguably, that's one of the most important things, right? Because it really comes down to how do you present to the judge. The second thing is going to be, what are the abilities of each parent to meet the needs of the child? Now that gets into money a little bit, of course. Certainly, you'd be lying if you said parents who have a lot of money don't have an advantage against parents who don't have a lot of money. Certainly, money or an imbalance of money can create an imbalance of equity in a custody case. That said, if each parent's got a good roof over their head, they've got a job, they can buy food, they can keep it on the table. It doesn't matter that one parent can afford to go to the Bahamas every summer and the other parent's doing good to go to the YMCA camp. Both are awesome. If both parents are financially stable, have the ability to provide food, water, shelter, and meet the kids' basic needs, that's going to check off that box. The next consideration is going to be, what's the relationship between each of the parents? Now, this one can be a tricky one, and this is where testimony and such come in really important, because the relationship between parents is one of the areas that judges see, and I've seen in my career, where parents manipulate the children in a custody case. And you want to be really careful about that. If you're a parent who has primary physical custody, you need to be very mindful about how you say and what you say to the children, because if a judge perceives you're manipulating the children in your time to not want to go to the other parents, that will backfire and could even result, and I've seen it result, in a flip of child custody based on the fact that one parent was essentially trying to turn the other parent away, and the only thing that would heal that relationship with the parents was to flip the custody. The next thing that a judge is going to look at is the stability of the home environment. Is this a home where the police are being called out too often? Are there drugs present at the home? Are we in a situation where mom or dad is bringing in a boyfriend or a girlfriend, a new person every week, and introducing them to the children? Is there constant turmoil? Is there constant drama? Do you got friends coming over and just causing a scene or getting trashed when they come over and wanting to drink and everything? What you do on your own time is fine. If you want to go out and throw a bender every other weekend, okay, as long as that's not your weekend with the kids. Do I advise it? No. Is the other parent going to try to use the fact that you drink excessively ever against you? Absolutely. If you're not doing it in front of the kids, that's good. Obviously, you don't want to be doing anything crazy around the kids, because if you put the kids at risk and your home life, your home environment is not stable, it's not safe, that is going to hurt your case in a really big way. And if you've had that issue in the past, that's okay. It can be an opportunity to show the judge and show the court what changes you've made that you're willing to do what's best for your kids. So it's, whatever you've done in the past is what you've done in the past. Today is a new day, and you can always start on a fresh foot going forward. The next, key consideration in best interest of the children is going to be, is there a history of abuse or neglect with a parent? And I don't mean just your standard, they didn't listen to me, so I bopped them on the backside, but I'm talking about legitimate abuse, neglect, where you got so drunk that you were not able to wake up the next day and you didn't take the kids to school at all. Or where there was an incident and you set the stove on fire because you were high. Whatever, right? You want to make sure that you're not abusing your children physically. You want to make sure that you're not neglecting their needs too, because not doing anything for them or just telling them to fend for themselves and just, you can't tell a 5-year-old, well, cook your own dinner. Now, certainly there are some 5-year-olds out there that can cook. But if you're in the middle of a custody case and you're not supervising them, that is not what we're talking about here. You want to make sure that you're not neglecting your children, and you want to make sure you're not abusing your children. Now, most of the time you ask a parent and you would say, are you abusing your children? I've never had anybody actually admit yes to that. So when you're on the other side of that equation, are you seeing unexplained bruises? Is there continual, I slipped and fell on the playground accidents? Not once, but multiple times. These are the things that we want to look for in making sure that the kids are safe and cared for. Are the kids coming home hungry and unkempt and dirty every single time, and they've only been over there for 2 days at a time? Something like that. So those are things you want to consider. Other factors that the judge may consider is, what does the child want? Especially as the child hits age 13 and up, the child's preference is entitled to some weight. At 13, that weight is minimal. By 17, that weight is heavy. In other words, the older the kid gets, as it makes sense, right, the more weight that child's opinion is entitled to. And lastly, there's one more factor in the statutes about best interest in the case law about best interest of the child that blows the lid off of whatever we've talked about, and that is any other factor that may impact the best interest of the child. So as you can tell, this is a very wide standard, and this exact reason is why it's so important not to be handling your custody cases yourself. You need to have an experienced attorney, such as the ones at Payne Law. We've got a great team here. Mr. Granger's our lead family law attorney. He does great work. I've been handling family law cases for the last 10 years. Our team is experienced. We know what we're going through. We know what we're getting into. We know what you're going through. We can help. The team at Payne Law is here to help our clients navigate life's important decisions. And as I frequently say, there is nothing more important than caring for your kids. I've got kids myself. A lot of our team does. We are here to help you navigate those decisions. If we can be of help, give us a call at 336-281-6928 or reach out to us on the web at applepaynelaw.com. We'd be happy to discuss with you. Our family law consultations are low cost. You can meet with us. We'll go over your case. We'll tell you what your options are, tell you what the price points are for different strategies, and let you make an educated and informed decision about who you want to represent you and, most importantly, your children in court. I hope this has been helpful. Until next time, like and subscribe here on YouTube, and have a great day. Thanks.